بسم الله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله. رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقه قولي. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, and welcome to another session of Quran analysis where we do the Nahw, the Sarf, and the explanation of different surahs, and we're currently working on Surah Al-Hadid. Last week we had the explanation of, I think, ayah number 8 to 9. And this week we are looking at the Sarf and the Nahw of ayah number 12. So we had finished up to ayah number 11. So today we'll start with ayah number 12 and we'll see how far we can be able to do. It's my hope that at least we complete this section of ayah number 10 to 12, and then hopefully next time we'll go to ayah number 13 to 15. All right. So we can begin. So here the ayah begins with يوم ترى المؤمنين والمؤمنات يسعى نورهم بين أيديهم وبأيمانهم بشراكم اليوم جنات تجري من تحتها الأنهار خالدين فيها ذلك هو الفوز العظيم. So يوم, you have to ask yourself, what kind of a word is يوم? And remember, every time we see something that is nasab, something that is mansub, we have to ask ourselves, why is it mansub? Because the default status of anything is marfu'. All right? The default is marfu'. So if it's at the beginning of a sentence, we expected yawmu. But here it is yawma. So why is it yawma? And we know yawma, if you just think about the word, it means a day. A day, it's a word that describes time, right? And we have a terminology for words that describe time and places. We call them duruf. So this is a dharf, right? Dharfu zaman, because it is describing time. So yawma here, the i'rab of it, we're going to label it as dharfu zaman في محل نصب, right? And then yawma is light, is not yawman also. It doesn't have tanween. So that means this is a mudaf. So that means whatever the sentence that comes after it, this whole sentence, basically this, whatever is coming after it, all of it is going to be the mudaf ilayhi. في محل جر. So yawma is the mudaf. Everything that comes after it is the mudaf ilayhi. في محل جر. And inside that مضاف إليه, you have a جملة. ترى is a فعل مضارع. Okay, so ترى is مضارع, and the فاعل is أنت. أنت ترى. And we will do the صرف of this later. So it's ناقص رأى يرى. And then you continue all the way until you reach أنت ترى. Okay. And then you have al-mu'minina. Al-mu'minina, again, when something is nasab or jar, we have to ask why. So al-mu'minina, it could be either nasab or jar. But in this case, it's nasab. Why? Because it's the maf'ul bihi of tara. What do you see on that day? A day on which you see the believers. So you see al-mu'minina. So that would be your maf'ul bihi because it answers the question, what? And then you have waw harf ataf, and al-mu'minat would be ism ma'tuf. So ataf and ma'tuf. I'm just going to write ataf and ma'tuf here, right? So al-mu'minat is ma'tuf to al-mu'minina, the day on which you see believing men and believing women, right? Yas'a. How do we understand yas'a? So yas'a is a jumla fi'liya, it's mudara'. But in light of what is happening, so you have tara is a fi'l, and then you have yas'a is a fi'l. Normally, whenever you have a fi'l and a fi'l back to back like this becomes a hal of that first fi'l. So like, for example, if I said, I was teaching while sitting. So you have teaching and then you have sitting. So sitting is a hal of teaching, right? Or she slept while sitting, or I don't know, something like that. No, I hope you understand what I'm talking about. Anyway, so yas'a as a jumla will become في محل نسب حال of المؤمنين. right? حال of المؤمنين. And of course, يسعى this whole sentence. So يسعى is going to be مضارع, فعل مضارع. And the فاعل, now we have to ask ourselves the فاعل. Who is the فاعل? يسعى is the هو version. So سعي يسعى. هو يسعى. And whenever we have the هو version, we can look outside for an outside doer. And when we look ahead, what do we see? We see نورهم. This is the فاعل because it's مرفوع. So this is فاعل and it's also مضاف, right? Because نور is the مضاف and then هم is the مضاف إليه. And هم here goes back to المؤمنين, right? Goes back to المؤمنين. So it's the حال of the المؤمنين. Their light. And again here, this is something very interesting that we will discuss when we're discussing the explanation. يسعى نورهم. Their light is what is doing the action of moving forward quickly. So سعي يسعى, like in Hajj, there's the process of sa'i, like jogging, like moving. It literally means to move forward quickly. That is سعي يسعى, right? So you can even like, or to look for something quickly, or not look for something, but to try and get something quickly. So that would be the meaning of سعي يسعى. Okay? And now the fa'il is نورهم, their light. So it's not the believers that are actually moving. Allah is not describing the believers moving. So you don't, like, it's not, you see them moving. Allah did not say that. Allah said, you see their lights moving forward quickly. SubhanAllah, there's a very interesting imagery that is being painted in our minds when we hear their lights are the ones moving, and we shall talk about that when we discuss the explanation of this. What imagery is being painted, and how do we understand the fact that it's the lights that are moving, and it's not the believers. It's not يسعون. يوم ترى المؤمنين والمؤمنات يسعون. It's not describing the believers, it's describing their lights moving. That's a very important point to just note there. يوم ترى المؤمنين والمؤمنات يسعى نورهم بين أيديهم. بين is a special مضاف, so we normally label it as a ظرف. So, and again, of course, it's a مضاف, and then أيدي is the مضاف إليه, and again, أيدي is another مضاف, and the attached pronoun is the مضاف إليه. So here we have a chain إضافة. So this is going to be, and normally whenever we have jar majroor or ظرف, we label it as متعلق. When you would say jar majroor متعلقان, or you say ظرف متعلق, right? So this is متعلقان أبي يسعى. So it goes back to the verb of moving forward quickly. So they're moving forward quickly, and their light is between their chest, or is on their chest, between their hands, يعني meaning on their chest, وبأيمانهم, and on their rights. متعلقان بيسعى. And then you have وبأيمانهم, so واو حرف عطف. بأيمانهم goes back to بين أيديهم. So it's معطوف to أيديهم. بين أيديهم وبين أيمانهم. Sorry, بين أيديهم وبأيمانهم, both are like متعلقان, so they go back to يسعى. And واو is the حرف عطف. So this is عطف and معطوف again. I'm not gonna type all that. I'm just gonna copy paste this. Right? Now, here something interesting is happening. So if you just read, if you try to translate this word for word. So يوم ترى المؤمنين والمؤمنات يسعى نورهم بين أيديهم وبأيمانهم. A day on which you see the believing men and the believing women, their lights moving forward quickly between their chests and on their rights. بشراكم, congratulations. You ask yourself, okay, how does this fit into the conversation? Like, it feels like something is missing here. How do you just go to congratulations? Congratulations is something you tell somebody, right? It's when I see you and I say congratulations, or good for you, or, so that's what we say. So here we understand this, that there's something missing. قِيلَ لَهُمْ, it will be said to them, or it was said to them, or it is going to be said to them. So that whole verse, no, verb, يقال, it is said to them, is missing, is محذوف. Right? So بشراكم would be the مقول القول في محل نسب مفعول به of يقال or قيل. So the verb to say is actually missing. And again, this is a very beautiful way of expression in the Quran, which we should discuss. And I'm telling you this so that you can start thinking about why is it that Allah omitted this verse. Because if I'm going to speak, I would say on that day you would see believing women and believing men, believing men and believing women, their lights moving forward, and it will be said to them, Bushrakum, congratulations. So why omit this whole phrase, right? So there's a, of course, there's every word in the Quran has a purpose and an intention behind it. Nothing is extra, nothing is more. Everything is measured and precise and has a purpose. Anyway, so bushrakum would be the maf'ul bihi of a fi'l that is mahdhuf, and we said it could be yuqalu, it is said, or qila, it was said. All right, so this is the maf'ul bihi, and of course bushrakum is a mudaf mudaf ilay, so that makes it an idafa as well. So this is going to be maf'ul bihi of something that is hidden. And then al-yawma, again, this is a ظرف. ظرف الزمان, just like we did the first yawma. But the only difference is that this one has an al. When yawm has al, it means today. Al-yawm, today. But if I just say yawmun, I mean any day, just some day, right? It's nakira, so it's not specific. But when something is ma'rifah, then you and I are talking about a very specific thing. I'm talking about today. I'm not just talking about some random day, right? So that will be the difference. So this is ظرف الزمان في محل ظرف الزمان منصوب بالفتحة. اليوم جنات. Again, something is missing. Congratulations today, gardens. What? Again, something here is missing, like enter the gardens. A garden is a place. You just don't say garden. You say enter the garden, right? So you enter a place. So again, this whole verb of entering, udkhulu jannat, is missing. Why is it missing? Why did Allah omit it? Again, we should discuss this when we talk about the explanation bit. So jannat, that means that jannatun is also في محل نسب مفعول به of something that is omitted in a sense. But at the same time, it's مرفوع because it's a mubtada, right? So as a whole, it is مفعول به في محل نسب, but then when you enter inside of that sentence, then it becomes a mubtada, right? So جنات مبتدأ. Then you have تجري. تجري من تحتها الأنهار. تجري, جرى يجري, to run or to flow, right? جرى يجري. And here it's not the anta version, because we know the anta version and the here version have the same format. So أنت تجري, هي تجري, both of them. So either she's running or you are running. So we have to ask ourselves, what is happening? Is the meaning that you are running or you are flowing, or is the meaning that she is flowing? Now, if it is she is flowing, then who is it referring to? We have to ask ourselves, is it going back to Jannat? And if it is going back to Jannat, then what does it mean, gardens that flow? Then we realize it doesn't make sense. So it's not the gardens that are being referred to here, it's something else. So we look forward in the sentence and we see من تحتها الأنهار. What is al-anharu? Is the jama'at taksir of nahar. It is the broken plural of nahar, which is a river, right? And we know that jama'at taksir, we describe them with singular feminine. So tajri. So this tajri is actually the fa'il of tajri is al-anharu. So tajri here is the mudara, and the fa'il is way all the way there. So again, we have to ask ourselves, why is the fa'il all the way here? Why is من تحتها, which is الجار مجرور متعلق بتجري, why is it مقدم? We have to ask ourselves Again, so I'm giving you clues so that perhaps when we're discussing this, you have some idea in your mind, or you can just think about it. So this is مضارع and this is متعلقان بالفعل هي يعني بتجري, right? الأنهار being the فاعل of تجري. So الأنهار تجري من تحتها. That's actually the normal way of saying it. Or you can say تجري الأنهار من تحتها. That's the normal way of saying it. But Allah did not say it like that. He said تجري من تحتها الأنهار. And of course the ها here تحتها goes to what? Goes back to الجنات. So it refers back to the gardens. So rivers that flow underneath the gardens. That's kind of the meaning, right? Now, you come to Khalidina. Again, it feels like there's so many things missing in this. When you just translate word for word, you realize like what is going on? Things are left unsaid. Khalidina is actually a hal. But then you ask yourself, a hal of who? Because you cannot have a hal just like that. A hal has to have a sahibul hal. Who is the condition affecting? Who is in that state? If I said, I am teaching while standing, I am in the state of standing as I teach. So I am the sahibul hal. It's affecting me, right? So you have to have, when we say khalidina, they're living there eternally. They're eternally abiding. I don't know how to, like to live forever. That is khalid. So khalada, to continue and to live forever. So Khalid is a person who lives forever, like ism fa'il, right? So if you say Khalidina, which is in the nasab version, which makes it a hal, then who are these that are living there forever? And of course here they say that it is something that is mahdhuf, that makes it Khalidina. I'm just going to confirm because I want to confirm exactly it is a hal of what is mahdhuf. I think I've forgotten that. Because you can still take him back to al-mu'minina wal-mu'minat. Um, okay. يعني دخولكم. So يعني your entrance into Jannah, into Jannat خالدين فيها. That will be the implication there. Yeah. So congratulations to you. دخولكم جنات. So again, here, when we were talking about Jannat, we said there's something missing, entering the gardens. So دخولكم جنات تجري من تحتها الأنهار خالدين فيها. So this خالدين would be the hal of your entering the gardens. You're entering the gardens and you're going to stay there forever. Right? So that's how we understand this Khalidina. Again, if you guys have any questions, feel free to pause me and ask. If you need any clarifications, also let me know. All right. So they would say that the Sahibul Hal is actually the dukhulukum, that pronoun kum, your entrance into the gardens, or entering, or udkhulu. If the verb that was missing here is udkhulu jannatin, enter the gardens. So udkhulu is jam'u mudhakkar, so the waw would be the sahibul hal of khalidin. I hope I'm making sense, guys. By the way, if you feel like you're lost, please stop me, or you can type it in the chat. Okay, then you have فيها جار مجرور, في حرف جار, ها اسم مجرور, and together they're متعلقان. بماذا؟ بخالدين. You're going to live there forever in it. So this in it goes back to how you're going to live there. You're going to live there forever. So متعلقان بخالدين. Okay, so let's see here. Please repeat. Okay, so from where do you want me to repeat? Gotta be specific. From the beginning or?
No, the hal, you're mentioning the hal. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, I know this is a confusing thing because I'm saying like there's something missing. So maybe I could just type it so that you can understand. So if I say here, If I say بشراكم اليوم ادخلوا جنات. If I say ادخلوا to make it easier. So let's say there's a verb there. ادخلوا جنات. Of course now جنات here would be جنات because it would be the مفعول به, right? You cannot have رفع. So ادخلوا جنات تجري من تحتها الأنهار. This would be one segment. جنات تجري من تحتها الأنهار. Because, sorry, did I say? I didn't tell you تجري is actually the sifa of جنات here, of course. As a جملة, it's going to be the sifa. I forgot to mention that. So this is going to be the sifa of جنات. So you see that جنات تجري من تحتها الأنهار is one segment. And then you have خالدين going back to أدخلوا as the حال of who? Of the people that are being told أدخلوا. أنتم أدخلوا. أدخلوا خالدين. Enter in order to stay forever. Enter so as to stay forever. Or in a state of staying forever. Right? It's very difficult to translate in English because you have, but the idea is you have a verb that is missing, and that verb, this khalidina, is going back to that verb. Is that clear?
Yeah.
Okay, alhamdulillah. Great. Yes. So yeah, entering. So there's a verb that is missing, and we have to do the taqdeer. Yeah, we have to do the, what is it called? Taqdeer, يعني. Yeah? It could be udkhulu, it could be dukhulukum, it could be whatever, يعني, as long as we have that idea of what is being said. All right, great. Then you have ذلك اسم الإشارة, and it sounds like it's beginning a new sentence. So we would say that this is our مبتدأ. Why is it there? Okay, I need to fix that. Okay, so this is our مبتدأ في محل رفع, because we cannot tell that it is مرفوع, because ذلك will always be ذلك. There's no ذلك, there's no ذلك, there is ذلك actually, but the pronoun can only take a فتحة or a كسرة, right? So this is our مبتدأ في محل رفع, and then you have هو. What kind of a pronoun is هو? You have a مبتدأ, and then you have another pronoun, and then you have something else. So this kind of pronoun is what we call ضمير الفصل. The kind of pronoun, independent pronoun, that comes between a mubtada and a khabar, to tell you that whatever comes after the pronoun is actually a khabar. So it has several functions. One of the functions is to inform you that it's a khabar that is coming after. And then you have others like takhsis and ta'weem and other reasons, right? So, but the main reason for ضمير الفصل is to tell you that this is between a mubtada and a khabar. Because if I removed it, I want you to imagine that this huwa is not there. Then you have ذلك الفوز العظيم ماذا? Because ذلك اسم الإشارة, when the word that comes after it has al, it becomes the musharun ilay, and then it becomes the badal of ذلك. We will treat it as the badal of ذلك. So this becomes a fragment. It's no longer a sentence. So if I say ذلك الفوز العظيم, something, that great reward, something. Like it's not complete, it's a fragment. But now that I have the ضمير الفصل here, it tells me, oh, that is in fact, or that is the ultimate, the greatest reward, right? Or the great reward, right? So this one, normally in the Arab side of it, we would also label it as mubtada number 2. So you have mubtada number 1 and mubtada number 2. In other words, you look at it like this. So ذلك is the mubtada, and this whole sentence is the khabar. And inside that khabar, you have a jumla ismiya with huwa as the mubtada, and therefore al-fawz here would be our khabar. right? And al-azim would be the sifa to al-khabar. Any questions? Are we good? Before we go to the sarf? I think that part is pretty straightforward. Not so much complications. All right, so let's look at the sarf. We have the verb قاتل. قاتل, the jidr is qaf, ta and lam, so قاتل. And it's from family 3, so جاهد يجاهد. Again, I urge you to repeat with me so that you can practice the sarf and it can become like second nature. The صيغة, what kind of صيغة is it? So is it ماضي, is it مضارع, is it اسم فاعل, is it اسم تفضيل, whatever. But قاتل, just like جاهد, this is فعل ماضي. Now we have to do the sarf صغير. And again, I normally don't do the whole thing because I expect you to do it. I'm not doing this for myself. I'm doing it for you guys. So I expect you guys to do it, right? So this will be قاتل. And I'm going to type in the alif because the Quran does not type the alif like that. It types it like a dagger alif. So قاتل يقاتل قتالا ومقاتلة فهو مقاتل, right? And then you can continue with that. قُوتِلَ يُقَاتَلُ قِتَالًا فَهُوَ مُقَاتَلٌ. And up to the end of how we learned the sarf. Then you can do the sarf kabir. Now here we will do the sarf kabir of the madi, just the 3. So قاتل, قاتلا, هما قاتلا, هم قاتلوا. And then you can do here قاتلت, هما قاتلتا, هن قاتلنا, and so on and so forth. All right, and what does it mean? It means to fight. To fight. Okay. أعظم. So the jidr is ayn, ba, and mim. And then this is from family 1, Karuma family. And it is, what kind of a verb is this? This is isim tafdil because like akbaru, أعظم. So this is isim tafdil. And if we're to put ayn, dad, dal, and mim into Karuma family, we will have عظم يعظم um, hmm, عظامة or عظم. I think it's عظمة. It's the masdar. Again, with the masdar, you just have to memorize it. Is it عظامة? I need to confirm that. I'm not 100% sure. Where is this? Oh, عظامة. But I'm sure there's more than one masdar, probably. Yeah, there's probably more than one masdar. So just, again, with the masadir from small families, you just have to memorize them as they come. There's no formula, there's no pattern to it. So there we go. And of course, if you continue that sarf, you would reach to the isim tafdil, which is a'zamu, right? And of course, being isim tafdil, the meaning would be greater or bigger. But greater, I think, sounds much better. وعد, واو عين دال, from وعد يعد. So ضرب يضرب. And this is again ماضي. So وعد يعد. And why is it يعد and not يوعد? Because this is مثال واوي. And remember with معتل مثال واوي, when you have a مثال, you drop the weak letter in the beginning. So you don't say يوعد. Remember, Arabs don't like disgusting sounds. Ew, ew, yo. It sounds bad. So they don't accept the sound. So you say وعد يعد and not وعد يوعد. So وعد يعد, وعد would be the promise. فهو واعد. واعد. And you can continue up to the end. And so we're going to take the ماضي If to do the Sarf Kabir of the Madi, so wa'ada for dual, huma wa'ada, and then hum wa'adu. And that means to promise. Then we have yuqridu. Yuqridu, qaf, ra, and dad. This is from Aslam family. Aqrada, yuqridu, just like yuslimu. So it's the mudara, just like yuslimu. Mudara, and this is aqrada, yuqridu, iqrad. فهو مقرض. And you can continue again with that. Now, if we're to do the Sarf Kabir of يقرض, so هو يقرض, هما يقرضان, هم يقرضون. Right? And it means to lend or to give a loan. Right? يضاعف. Of course, now here we realize the two words. So you have يضاعف and then the who. Now, يضاعف is actually supposed to be يضاعف, but it was made mansub because of what came before, I think it was an مقدرة that came before it and made it mansub. فيضاعفه, the fa السببية that came before it, and we assume that it's supposed to be فأن يضاعفه. So the أن is مقدرة. It is estimated, right? So يضاعفه. This is ضاد, عين, and fa. And this is like قاتل, like جاهد, ضاعف. So this is going to be family 3. And of course it's مضارع. And it's مضارع منصوب بفاء السببية. There was a fa, فيضاعفه. Right? So مضارع منصوب. So this is going to be ضاعف, يضاعف, مضاعفة. For those of you who are in the banking sector, you know what مضاعفة is. يضاعف, يضاعف, مضاعفة, فهو مضاعف. And you can go on and on. So this is what we're looking for. يضاعف, هو يضاعف, هما يضاعفان, هم يضاعفون. إيش؟ Okay. What does that mean? It means to multiply. So يضاعفه, he will multiply it. He will multiply it. Then we have ترى. ترى, رأى, يرى. So this is the jidr is ra, hamza, and ya. رأى, يرى. This is from family 1, and it's fatah family. Just like I said, رأى, يرى. So you can see فتح, يفتح. Right? And ترى is مضارع, like أنت ترى. And this is going to be so رأى, يرى. So you have either رأي, could be a masdar, or you could have what's the other masdar I'm forgetting? رأي or رؤيا. Yes, could be
رؤية.
another masdar.
Yeah.
Go on.
I thought it was maybe رؤية. I don't know.
Yes, رؤية is also one of the masdar. So this verb, like just any other family 3 verbs, they have several masadir that you can. So رأي would be an opinion. رؤية would be a vision. So if I am, so look, رأي, and again, I think this is important, and I forgot to mention that in the i'rab, I will mention it. This verb رأى is one of those verbs that take on 2 مفعول بهs. I forgot to mention it. So يوم ترى المؤمنين, like we said, is our first مفعول به. And then this whole, I said it was a hal. Did I say it was a hal? Yes, it's a hal. So this verb ترى is one of those, رأى, يرى is one of those verbs that take on 2 مفعول بهs. if the seeing is qalbiya. What do I mean by if the seeing is qalbiya? If the seeing is sort of like a perception, it's in your mind. It's not really a physical sight. You're not seeing with your eyes, you're seeing with your mind. For example, if I have an opinion, ra'yun. When I have an opinion, a perception in my mind, I'm not actually seeing with my own eyes now, am I? I'm seeing in my mind, right? So you can see something physically, and that would be ru'ya basariya. You're seeing something with your own two eyes. Or I could be seeing something qalbiya, something with my mind, aqliya, something, that it's not, we call this verbs af'alul qulub, right? So those are two kinds of seeing. Now, when the seeing is qalbiya, when the seeing is a perception, then we treat this as two maf'ul bihis. Like for example, if I say, رأيتك عاقلا, I perceived you to be intelligent, or I assumed you to be intelligent. I was of the view that you were intelligent. So when I translate it like this is something that is happening in my mind. So you would be the first maf'ul bihi, and intelligence, I assumed you to be intelligent. To be intelligent would be the second maf'ul bihi. But if the ru'ya is basariya, if the ru'ya, I'm physically seeing something, then I'm seeing it in a certain state. I am seeing you in a particular state. That becomes the you would be the first maf'ul, the maf'ul bihi, and how I am seeing you would be the hal. For example, if I said, I see a bird on a tree. I see a bird would be the maf'ul bihi, what I am seeing. How am I seeing it? On a tree. Or I see a bird singing. So I am seeing it, and how am I seeing it? I'm seeing it singing. In the same way here, the Prophet ﷺ is being told, there's several opinions on who the fa'il is here. It could be anta, the Prophet ﷺ being addressed. So the Prophet is being told a day on which you, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, will see the believers. Or it could just be, a general you. If I say, you see people rushing towards aid. I'm not talking about you specifically. I'm just saying, as a general understanding, you see people doing this thing, right? So those are two ways in which you can look at tara. So here, the Prophet ﷺ is being told that day you will see with your own eyes who the believers. In what state? يَسْعَى نُورُهُمْ. So يَسْعَى نُورُهُمْ would be the hal. Yes. So in that sense, I don't know what I was discussing that took me there. But anyway, so ra'a, yeah, we were discussing the masdar. The masdar, ra'yun, would be a perception in your mind. Ru'ya would be a physical seeing. I see with my own two eyes. So you see that ra'a can have different masadir based on the meaning that is attached to it. All right, mahmuz, yes, mahmuz naqis, not just mahmuz, but mahmuz naqis. So mahmuz al-ain naqis, that's how you would look at it. But here, because naqis is a much more stronger illa, stronger irregularity, most of the time we would call this mahmuz, naqis, sorry, not mahmuz. You would just see people calling it naqis, but if you want to be very specific, you can say mahmuz al-ain naqis. You could do that. Right, to be more specific. So ra'a, yara, ra'yun, فهو ra'in. So I'm going to do this one because it's naqis and sometimes we can get it wrong. Sorry. So ra'in. And then you will have ru'ya, yur'a. But of course you can't have the passive with this one because why? It's lazim. Ra'a. The dua is always going to be, yourself, or there's going to be a lazim effect to it. It's not you making somebody else say. It's not arahu. If it was arahu, then now I made him to see. I showed him, right? But this is ra'a, so this is lazim. There's no passive line in this. And then of course you go to the mudara and you do the sarf kabir of that. So we have yara. yarayani. Now here, this is where the things that naqid starts to play with our minds, yeah? So you have yara. And then for dual, the ya comes back. So yarayani. And then for the plural, it's yarawna. So the alif, what happened? So because the huwa version has alif maqsura, it ends with alif maqsura. In order for us to say that this one also ends with an alif maqsura, the fatha represents the alif maqsura. So it's just the fatha is telling us that this verb ends with alif maqsura. If it did not end with alif maqsura or alif, we would have dhamma. So for example, what da'a yad'u. Da'a yad'u. Da'a ends with yad'u ends with wow. So we don't say yad'auna, we say yad'una, right? So just the revision there of sarf. So here it's going to be yarawna, hum yarawna, and that is to see. Or tara, you see, more specifically. Yeah, let's see what comment this is. لازم is it doesn't take a مفعول به. لازم is the opposite of متعدي. So لازم does not take a مفعول به. متعدي takes on a مفعول به. So if I say, for example, I slept, I am the one who's doing the sleeping. So نام, he slept, is لازم. But if I said, like for example, جلسة, I think let's take a better example, جلسة. جلسة, he sat. He's the one who did this, the sitting. But if I say أجلسته, I made him sit. Now I took it from لازم to متعدي. Right? So that's the difference there. And then you have المؤمنين. المؤمنين, this is, so we have آمن, the jither, and this is from family 4. آمن يؤمن إيمان. All of us should be able to do the sarf of this in the top of from the top of our heads, because we all ask Allah to have iman, right? So آمن يؤمن, here there's a hiccup. It's only when the two hamzas meet that the Arabs don't like hamzas when they meet, and then one hamza, they merge and it becomes a madda, right? So here you had a'mana, but then hiccups, no good. I like to joke that in the desert there's a lack of water, there's scarcity of water, so hiccups is a big problem, because how do you get rid of hiccups in the desert? You have to search for water. So they don't like hiccups. So amana, no good. So you say amana, right? Yu'minu doesn't have a problem because there's no hiccups. So in a sense, like there's no two hamzas. Amana yu'minu imanan. فهو مؤمن إيمان. فهو مؤمن. Again, مؤمن, not a problem because there are not two hamzas. Of course, in certain language dialects, they actually even smooth out this yu'minu. So it's not yu'minu, it's yu'minu. In some dialects, they do that. Problem. Same thing, potato, potato. That's the difference, right? Oh, I was doing the wrong thing here. And none of you said anything. Anyway, so مضارع here, this is المؤمنين. What kind of a word is المؤمنين? This is اسم فاعل. Stop. So this is اسم فاعل. And of course, the sarf kabir of that, mu'min, would be mu'min, mu'min. And of course, again, because this is nasab, so it's not mu'minun, mu'minani, mu'minuna. It's going to be the nasab version, which is mu'minan, mu'minani, mu'minaini, sorry, mu'minina, right? But I'm just going to go straight into that. You can do the whole sarf if you want. So mu'minaini, and then mu'minina. I'm going to put the fatha there just in case. to differentiate that. And this will be مؤمنين. This is the plural. What does that mean? The believers. Or in this case, the believing men. Right? Then we have يسعى. So this is ساعية. This is family one. سعي يسعى. So this is سمع يسمع. And it is the مضارع. So سعي يسعى. سعي, like in Hajj we do سعي. فهو ساعٍ, like هاد. So this is هدى يهدي. No, it's like مشية. No, it's like, did we do? نسي ينسى. Like نسي. So نسي ينسى فهو ناس وهي ساع. So يسعى, that's what we're looking at. So هو يسعى هما, again with ناقص. What are we going to do? We're going to bring in the ya. So يسعيان هم, again because it ends with ألف مقصورة, we're going to put a fatha on it. So we're going to say يسعى يسعون, and the waw is waw al-jama'a. So this waw shows the plural, and the fatha shows that it ends with alif. Right? So يسعون. And what does this mean? It means to move forward quickly, or to jog, or sometimes they say to run, but running is more, running is intense. So you have walking, then you have, so you have mashi, you have sa'i, and then you have jari. So in that kind of order. Walking, then you have sa'i, like jogging, and then you have running. تجري. جرى يجري. What did I say? Okay, I thought we were, no. All right. تجري, so جرايا, and this جرية يجري. سامع family. تجري, again مضارع. So جرية يجري. No, it's جرى يجري, right guys?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, sorry. There's no سامع. I was like, okay, this doesn't sound right. Why am I saying it? It doesn't sound right. جرى يجري, yeah. So it's it's ضرب يضرب. جرى يجري, yeah. No, جرية. جرية is a word that is in my mind, but I can't place it. But it's a word. جارية. Okay, something totally different. Yeah, this happens in my mind sometimes. So جرى يجري. جري فهو جار. And then we're looking at يجري as the مضارع. So يجري يجريان. Now here, because we have a ya, so this is what happens. Because we have a ya, we won't say, we will replace this ya with a waw. So we won't say يجريون. Again, remember those weird sounds? So we don't say يجرون, يجريون. It's even difficult to say. So we're going to replace that and we're going to have يجرون. Yeah? But if it was feminine, if it was هن, we would say يجرين. هن يجرين. Right? Sorry for that. Yes. جارية. Yes, root letters. And again, it's also naqis. That's why you have these complications happening. Jara yajri, it means, it can mean to run. It can mean to float. It can also mean to happen. ما الذي يجري? If I come and ask ما الذي يجري? What happened? ما الذي حصل? Same meaning. What happened? But it can also mean to run, like جرى ركض, to run. It could also mean to float, to flow, not to float, to flow, like as in water, the way the water flows. Yeah, and here it is used in the meaning of to flow, as in a stream of water flowing, like the river flowing. خالدين, so خالد, and this is, yes,
The root letter is ya or alif maksura.
where? ألف مقصورة.
Jara.
عارفة. ألف مقصورة is not a letter. What is ألف مقصورة? When you were
Sorry.
doing the alphabet of the Arabic language, did you say ألف بيت ألف مقصورة somewhere?
No.
No. So ألف مقصورة is not a letter, is it? So when you see the ending being an ألف مقصورة, that's indication of a ya.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So جرى.
Okay.
Oh, you're correcting me here? I wrote جارية
Yeah.
because I was like writing.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. This is
Yeah, I was
Jara.
confused here. Okay.
Okay, this is Jara. Thank you. Sorry about that. I was wondering what happened. Like, how could you say Alif Maksura is a Subhanallah? Yeah. Okay, thank you for that. So we have Khalada, and this is Khalada يخلد نصر ينصر. Khalid اسم فاعل. So خلد يخلد خلد جنات الخلد فهو خالد, very common name. Yeah. And actually this يخلد also comes in the Quran, يخلد فيه مهانا. Right? So there's a very, very recurring word in the Quran. And so Khalid, when you use it as a verb and not as a name, you can do the sarf of it. So Khalidani, Khaliduna. And here, of course, Khaliduna, when you do the nasab version, to make it the hal, it's going to be Khalid, Khalidaini, Khalidina, like that. And it means to live forever or eternally, something like that. Lastly, we have Al-Azim. We pretty much did Al-Azim when we did A'zamu, so it's more or less the same thing. So I'm just going to copy this and we will change a few things only. Might not copy nicely. I knew this would happen, but let's see. Okay. So you have عظمة, اسم تفضيل, كرمة from كرمة family. So عظمة يعظم عظامة فهو, and then when you come to the اسم, this is صفة مشبهة. So we know that in the كرمة family, for example, you have كرمة يكرم, فهو كريم. So this is what is happening here. So it's عظيم. So we don't have the اسم فاعل, we have the صفة مشبهة. And I will change the تفضيل as well. So this is not تفضيل, this is صفة مشبهة. And it means the great reward. All right, and I think that's we are on the hour, at the top of the hour, and we finished the sarf, inshallah. Next time we shall continue from ayah number 13 to number 15 for this Nahw and the sarf of it. But next week, remember, we do this alternating. So next week we shall look at the explanation of ayah number, I think we stopped at ayah number 9. So we'll start from ayah number 10, inshallah. Is there any other questions or clarifications, corrections? Anything I missed out? Anything you need me to repeat? رأى is not متعدي. No, actually it is متعدي, sorry. Yes, it is متعدي. Did I say لازم? I'm so
Yes, you said
confused.
that.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It's not لازم. It's متعدي. رأيته. I saw it. You see something. It takes on two مفعول به actually. Why did I say لازم? لا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله. I don't know what happened there. It's actually
I don't think so. I don't think you said that.
maybe if I said it, guys, forgive me. It's actually متعدي لمفعولين. It takes two مفعول به if it is رأى قلبية, if it is one of those verbs that have to do with perception and the seeing of the mind, right? Yeah, so it's and of course if you take it to أسلم family, it will be متعدي to ثلاثة مفاعيل, to be متعدي to three مفعول بهs. Now it will take on three مفعول بهs. So this is one of those words. Yeah, it totally escaped me. It's not لازم at all. Sorry for that. All right, any other observations or before we conclude? All right, great. We can stop there. سبحانك اللهم بحمدك نشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت نستغفرك ونتوب إليك. I'll see you guys next week إن شاء الله. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته وإياكم جزاء.
وعليكم السلام ورحمة الله.